Hey, let's rivet this stamped blank to a leather cuff. I've already stamped on this butterfly blank and I've marked these corners here with a dot on where to punch my hole, and that'll be the spot that the rivet will go through and match up with holes on the leather. So I'm just going to punch right here. There's my hole. I just remembered that my rivets are a teeny bit bigger than my hole from my hole punch plier. So I'm just going to use a round file to get on in there and make that hole just a little bit bigger, which is great because you want that rivet to fit snug in the hole. To punch the hole in the leather, I'm going to go just straight through that top hole so I know it's going to match up exactly where I want it. I'm only going to do the top holes first. I'm not going to punch the bottom ones yet. Put the rivet through the leather. I opted to put the head of the rivet on the back so it's nice and secure. And then I'm just going to place my blank right on top of that rivet and press it down. Now we're ready to trim. Leave about a half a millimeter or a millimeter of material. And I'm going to file that down, and that's going to help me get a really nice round rivet. It was a little bit pinched from the cutters, so a flat top. And using my chasing hammer, you can also use a rivet hammer, of course. I'm going to use a peened end to strike all over the top of that rivet, and you'll see, I don't know if you can see, it's going to start to mushroom out. Can you see there on the top? It's starting to flatten out. Cool. Let's do the same on the other side. Trim. File flat. You'll notice I'm using a buffing stick here. That's because I'm using aluminum rivets, so they're super soft, but you could definitely use a metal file. And now I'm just going to hammer down that rivet. Just slowly getting the edges down. And there it is. Awesome. So I punched the bottom holes now off camera, and I waited to punch the bottom holes until the top was set because sometimes things shift. So here we go. Trim, file, and rivet it down. Awesome. Now I'm going to take the other end of the hammer and set it. And I did that on the top as well. I just forgot to film it. It happens. So there we go. Everything is riveted in place. But you know, the top of those rivets look a little plain, so I'm going to just quickly stamp them. I'm going to put little flower stamps right on top of the flattened rivet. Nice. Now I'm going to add a little of the enamel pen that I used on the bulk of the blank, just to add a little dark to the impressions. Looking good. And now this is a nylon job bracelet bending plier. It has a little curve in it, and you can squeeze along the blank. It will move with the leather. If it was a longer blank, I would curve it first, then rivet it. But these guys will give it just a little bit of a curve so it sits a little bit better on your wrist. Like so. And there we go. And friends, if you're interested in making your own, you can find all the tools and materials at Beaducation.com.